Our goal today is to help you uncover new tools to help get your school spending smarter by leveraging more of Procurify. But before we get into it, I want to quickly level set with everyone. Charter schools are facing significant challenges across the US, and many folks on this call will already know this, but I think it's worth stating. Although some states have seen increased enrollment, many schools are struggling with low student numbers and cash flow issues. Additionally, a shifting funding landscape is creating a fiscal cliff that's exacerbating budgetary pressure. These financial constraints, as well as the other macroeconomic shifts that we may be potentially seeing in 2025, they all kind of underscore that importance of efficient resource allocation and smarter spending for charter schools. But it's hard to control spend when your procurement process presents day-to-day problems that you need to handle. So that you can maintain that compliance constantly and be audit ready at any time. Things like administrative challenges, where one has to navigate the many different state and federal regulations, or funding amounts, particularly from grants, which are unpredictable at best and put a strain on responsible financial planning, or the procurement workflows that you need to navigate and that your teams need to navigate, whether it's teachers or parents. And the more manual and inconsistent those are, the harder it is to resource it effectively or manage those processes well at scale. And of course, purchasing is difficult when you're managing different processes across multiple different vendors in order to get all of your textbooks and technologies and supplies in a timely and cost-effective manner. Long story short, procurement's complicated, the stakes are really high, and the tolerance for risk, specifically in regulated environments, is very small. For those on the call who aren't familiar with us, and I know that there's a mix of current customers and other charter schools attending today's session, Procurify's mission is to simplify spend management. So we help you automate your procure-to-pay process by consolidating all of your procurement activities in a single digital system, so you can get effortless record keeping, audit trails, budget tracking, and management of grant-based funding. It gives you that clear spend visibility and that better financial control to manage all of your spend proactively and with confidence. So we have 3 spend solutions. The first is our core purchasing product, which helps streamline request to receive. It gives you the ability to shape your purchasing processes by standardizing and configuring workflows and enforcing policies and routing approvals to improve your financial discipline. And it lets you make more data-informed decisions. So you get that real-time visibility into budgets and detailed reporting to uncover insights and optimize your cash flow and stay audit ready. We also offer an accounts payable product, which helps automate invoice to pay. This gives your team the time back to focus less on chasing paper trails and more time to focus on strategic tasks. And we've made some exciting updates here recently. So we're going to talk about this a lot more later on in the session. And then finally, really quickly, excuse me, I'm coming off of a flu, so you might hear me cough a little bit. We also have our expense and card product. This is going to help you better manage your ad hoc spend from staff and teachers. And you're going to be able to do this from a modern mobile-first expense reports and physical and virtual spending cards that you can fund for specific expenses, which gives you full control over all of your business spend. So what does all this mean for you? Well, by leveraging Procurify to enhance your purchasing process, it gives you the compliance that you need, both with your internal policies, but also with state and federal regulations, and giving you the built-in controls that you need to stay in compliance and the digital paper trail to prove it in an audit. It gives you that real-time visibility that I mentioned to make more informed purchasing decisions, and it helps streamline that process so you can automate and accelerate your workflows so you can focus less on procurement and more on education. And it helps you be more strategic in how you source products to spend more cost effectively. So I want to spend a lot of the session talking about the specific products. This is the product showcase session of Procurement Week. So let's talk about some of the specific features that we know are particularly impactful for many of our charter school customers today that you may not know about. So let's go through them today. There's 3 in particular that I want to call out: punchouts, budgets, and our mobile app. Starting with punchouts, which might be the most loved feature by our charter school customers. and actually probably from all of our customers, regardless of the industry they're in. But for those that are unfamiliar, what is a punch out? Essentially, it's an integration between your purchasing system and a supplier. So this integration allows your users to browse the supplier's website and easily add items directly from that website to their purchase request. Then once that request is approved, those items will be purchased and shipped by the supplier with no added steps in the process. Without a punch out in place, a requester would have to still browse that supplier website. They'd have to manually key in all of the item information, the price, the details, all into their request. And then once that request is approved, someone, either that initial requester or a purchaser, would have to go back to the supplier website to actually make that purchase. This is manual, it's slow, it's unnecessary friction in the process, and it can fragment documents like your approval trail, like your POs from the invoices that come in with the vendor. But it's so much simpler with punch outs, as you can see the workflow here. Your buyers get the benefits of a much simpler purchasing experience. They get the ability to view real-time catalogs to ensure up-to-date product pricing and availability. They get improved accuracy in the request since they're not manually keying in data into their purchase request. And in some cases, the buyers can negotiate custom price lists with suppliers that can be accessed via the punch-out integration. And for the supplier, they get a better experience for their customers, which means higher odds of repeat purchases and a better order process and more visibility into the purchasing trends. So it's a win-win for our buyers and for buyers' suppliers. At Procurify, we've built a very streamlined punch-out integration to make it as easy as possible to purchase from your vendors. Items are automatically added from that supplier website to a Procurify purchase request in the Procurify app, and then that request goes through the approval routing logic that you've set up in Procurify. And in just a few minutes, I'm really excited about this one, Nick is actually going to demonstrate the full experience of making a purchase request using an Amazon Business punch-out. So you'll be able to see firsthand how easy and fast it is to make that request. We've built dozens of punch-outs with leading suppliers that service a range of industries. But for educational institutions specifically, we have some really key ones. So we have Amazon Business, Staples, and Office Central for classroom supplies, Lakeshore Learning for classroom furniture and teaching resources. We have a punch-out for CDW for any of your technology needs. And we have a punch-out with Granger for maintenance and janitorial supplies. So lots of punch-out opportunities, lots of great supplier integrations here built directly into Procurify. But don't just take my word for it. Blue Ridge Academy is an independent study public charter school in California. They've enrolled almost 7,000 students and have almost 300 certified teachers. But they struggled with their previous purchasing system. So their PO process had a lot of copying and pasting and manually adding of tax and shipping details. So there was a lot of errors and delays. Their parents and their staff didn't feel like that legacy system was intuitive or easy to learn. So it negatively impacted adoption. And their complex approval workflows couldn't scale to meet the needs of its diverse students. But after moving to Procurify, they were able to speed up their approvals. So what previously took 6 to 8 weeks became just a few hours to get their approvals. The easy-to-use interface of Procurify also made that process less intimidating for families, which drove higher engagement. And as you can see quoted here from the Director of Finance, the Amazon Business punch-out specifically helped the team realize a 10x increase in order efficiency by minimizing human errors and, as they say, streamlining invoicing.